Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Yeah, it is. Um, I've been I've been feeling scattered lately, and if you've watched this show for any number of days, you've probably heard me say that dozens of times. And at this point, I think I'm just saying it because I'm hoping that someday the Google will let me search through the auto-generated closed captions so I can plot data. Like, how many times have I said that? Oh, it's like half the year you've been scattered. But I have been feeling scattered. And at some point in my life, that really bothered me. But I've been much more graceful with myself lately and have allowed myself to just be okay with it. We mentioned earlier in the week that on Sunday I was feeling just not with it. And so I just let myself be for a day. And that was really rewarding. And I really achieved something there. And then this week I wanted to write an article for the website to try to keep that going. I did. I released it this morning. And it was about, I ended up writing about something that I wrote, I think on Monday or Tuesday. I had an idea. I was on my walk. A scene popped into my head. I wrote the scene. It's just one scene. Similar to the time I wrote the little, like, introductory, I shared it a while back. There was a grotesque, vulgar story that I wrote. So this one is clean and decent, it's publishable. So I wrote it on Monday or Tuesday, and then I wrote an article about that today. I finished it today. My hope was to do it like I was going to write that article immediately after I wrote the scene. Well, not immediately, the next day, yesterday or the day before, whatever this was. Malia and I had a talk about, like scenes and movies and stuff. You go read the article. The point is, it took me, I just couldn't get that article out of my head. I couldn't write it. I couldn't do that. Work has been better lately because I've been working on a new project that's just much more interesting to me. So I've been accomplishing a little bit there, but there's things that I want to do in my personal life. There's things that I need to do. I have a list of things I need to accomplish, like the deadlines are rapidly approaching, right? And I've been just not really able to concentrate on any of that stuff. And I've never been one to blame anything. Like, I don't blame YouTube. I don't blame TikTok. I don't blame my phone. But I think that everything combined is maybe not good for me right now. It's none of those things are the problem. I'm the problem, right? If I'm scattered, it's because I'm not allowing myself. I'm not giving myself the push to focus. I'm not giving myself. I'm not disciplining myself, is what it comes down to, and that's okay. I'm not upset about it, but I am. I have been. I've been thinking about it a little bit, and just what can I do? What points in my past have I felt the most connected to myself, to reality? What lessons can I take from all of that? Um, and I think that part of it is that I'm scattered, right? Just naturally by default, I'm scattered. My brain is in a lot of different places, a lot of points throughout the day, and nothing is cohesive. And so for many, many years of my life, I've carried notebooks. And I've tried to find the props. I have some of these notebooks somewhere. I just don't know where they are. They're in a box, and I didn't want to dig through all of it just to hold it up on camera. Here's a notebook you can't see. And I'm specifically talking about pocket notebooks. I used to carry the little miniature composition books. Um, those used to stay in my pocket. I started carrying that, man, in 2003 or 4. I was a parts department manager, and we had this customer that used to come in all the time, and he pulled out this. He always had a pocket notebook, one of those old spiral top where you like a detective would flip, and he would always be like, all right, let's see, in May of 2000 I ordered this, I need to order this again, here's the part number. And I was always just kind of like, whoa. And so I started carrying a pocket notebook, and it turned into more of a pocket diary, but I did that for quite a few years. Then I became a mechanic and I didn't need it so much. And then I got back into IT and I needed to have some sort of place to record things momentarily, a place to write myself reminders, that sort of stuff. And I had, at that time, smartphones were starting to become a thing. So that was like 2000 and, well, it was 2010. So Android was starting to become, I started to have Android phones because I couldn't afford one on my own, but work would buy them for us. And I think I had a Galaxy Note for a while. Didn't, so I went back to pocket notebooks, and I was making them. And I've talked about it. I tried searching the other day to find. I thought I had done a video about how to make them. I never did. I posted a video, whatever video I talked about last week. I put some links. You can go see. I talk about my pocket notebooks, and if you go watch the very first couple of months of this show, I always had a handmade pocket notebook where I was writing daily topics and writing bullet points about the daily topics. And so lately I've been thinking, I'm going to make those again. I'm going to make them and I'm going to carry them. I have cardboard I brought down. I usually used to use like cereal boxes or something to that effect, granola bar boxes. Don't really have any of that, but I do have like coffee boxes. I made them out of sheets of paper, just folded, stapled with a piece of cardboard. If the cover started to get worn, I would put duct tape over it to keep it protected. And so I have full intentions of making pocket notebooks so I can start carrying them again. Because I have a notebook, like there's a notebook beside my computer right now, and I use it nearly daily. But it's, a full-size composition book, and it's difficult to remember to pick it up when I leave the house. It's difficult. I don't always have it with me, and I would like to always have it with me. So I was going to switch back to pocket notebooks. What I'm probably going to do is have a two system. I'll have my desk notebook. I'll keep that one available. And then I'll have my pocket notebook will be my working notebook. So on top of being scattered, I'm impulsive sometimes. And as I've been I don't own a stapler, which is part of the issue. I haven't made these pocket notebooks yet. I need to get a stapler, which are like $5 at Walmart. Like seriously, you can buy a stapler for next to nothing. I have air staplers. That's not the same thing, right? So for whatever reason, instead of doing that, instead of going to Walmart and buying a $5 stapler, I have purchased Field Notes. Now these are little pocket notebooks. If you don't know who Field Notes are, they've been around for a while now. These are little, pocket notebooks. They were based on, this is the craft paper version. They were based on like these promotional notebooks that like feed and seed companies used to hand out to farmers. They would have like a company's logo and stuff on it and maybe some like almanac data or whatever in it, and then farmers would use them. And so the person who started this company was inspired by that. But for whatever, this is where I'm at in my life right now. I can afford this purchase. I can afford to have a stack of these things. This isn't, as I was saying the other day, trying to find somebody to take care of my outside work. This is one of those instances of I need these, and instead of making them, instead of saying, all right, I'm going to make these, I'll figure out a way to do it, just buy the damn thing, like just put it in your pocket and carry it. I don't have to worry about it. I know I've used these before. I'm aware of the quality of the paper. I'm like some of the cheaper ones don't work well with my gel pens. There's a lot of bleed through and I don't like it. Even my printer paper I was going to use has that problem. I know that from past experience. So I just bought them. I bought like the cheapest ones. You could get a 3-pack of these. This is like buy 2 get 1 free for these letterpress ones, which is cool because I like letterpress anyway. And I bought the black versions, which are really nice, and the original craft versions. Like I'll just try them and use them. But it's fun. It's a little bit more of a reflection on my scatteredness, but also my ability to just make purchases like this. Like this isn't, again, this isn't something I could have purchased a few years ago without seriously considering it. Now, is this wasteful? No, I don't think so. I think I'll use these. I think I'll use all of these. I think I'll go through these. This isn't a new habit, right? Like this is an old habit, just revisited many times in many different form factors, and I'm just switching back to a form factor that works for me. I know it works for me. Yeah, if you haven't tried it, if you haven't tried a pocket notebook, do it. I like my notes app. I use it a lot, but I'm not inspired by it. And when I put stuff in there, it's often just, that's it. It goes in there and I forget about it. The most useful part of it for me is checklists, because I can pin those and I can, shopping lists and specifically in recipes. I use it for recipes. But all of the little inspirational quotes, all of the little thoughts, the writing tips, all that sort of stuff, they would be much better served in these, and they would be much better served in a multi-notebook system, whereas maybe one of these is writing stuff. And when I have a thought and I write it in my pocket notebook, I then transfer it into my writing stuff notebook. One of these is inspirational quotes, and when I have one of those that's in my notes app or wherever, I put it in there. And so I have a reference that I can go to. And that's the intention here. We'll see how that works out, and we'll come back to it. But I'm curious to know if you still use pen and paper to record information of any kind. Does anybody still do this? Is this a thing? Or did you ever? Or have you been digital since digital became an option? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is taciturn. It is an adjective meaning reserved, uncommunicative, a person of few words. Nature is garrulous to the point of confusion. Let the artist be truly taciturn. Paul Klee, a German-born Swiss painter. Taciturn, T-A-C-I-T-U-R-N. I am very much accused of being a taciturn person, and it's a point of contention sometimes with me and Malia, and I need to work on telling her more things more often. Like, talk to her about these notebooks, because she doesn't know about them yet.